Infinity or infinite movement is a core concept within the art of Pekiti Tirsia Kali. Once an engagement has begun, we only stop once the engagement is done. Hey, this is Tuhan Aditya from LightHaven. Today we're going to be talking about one of the core concepts of Pekiti Tirsia Kali, which is the infinity of strikes or infinity of movement. Now let's just give some context as to why this concept is so important. When I'm fighting with weapons, as we have spoken about so many times on this channel before, my limbs are the first target. They're the first target because number one, they are the closest things to my opponent, and number two, because if I found a way past my opponent's weapon, I've made that entry. If I'm not controlling or if I have not disabled their ability to attack me with their weapon, when I go to attack their body with a finishing strike, I might get attacked by their weapon, right? So I really need to control their weapon limb, or I need to take away their ability to attack me with their weapon as I'm looking to finish the strike. So because of that, attacking the limbs becomes so important. Now because of that, we believe that if we are static like this, my hand is a pretty easy target for someone to hit. Whereas if my hand is constantly moving, then it becomes a slightly harder target because it's a moving target. The same thing goes with my feet. If I'm still, I become a stationary target. But if I'm constantly moving, if my feet are moving, if my body is moving in and out of range, it becomes a little bit harder to hit. Now this infinity of movement can be scaled across all concepts and all parts of fighting. For example, when we're talking about a guard, right, if you're talking about like Muay Thai or boxing, hands up, this might be our guard. But for weapon work, the guard is essentially what is my weapon doing and how is it disrupting my opponent's attacks, right? So if I'm just open like this, my opponent doesn't have to think at all before he or she attacks me. However, by just virtue of having my weapon in between me and my opponent, he or she has to deal with my weapon before they start to attack my body, right? So this is a really simple way of explaining the guard. If it's the stationary guard, this is quite easy to deal with. However, in Pekiti, we tend to have often a moving guard, right? So my weapon is still between me and my opponent. It's never just open. I'm never just open for strikes. I'm never just open. My weapon is between me and my opponent, and anything that he has to do, he has to get past this moving guard. And there are a couple of ways that you can do this. It can just be something like this, as I'm doing right now, or something that I'll prefer. It's much easier, just having these circular lines. This is my moving guard. From here, I can launch into thrust. From here, I can go umbrella to angle 1. From here, I can cut the hand with an angle 3. I can do almost anything that I need to do from this circular moving guard. But throughout all of these things, this concept of never stopping. When we look at a lot of modern martial arts, we often see very staccato or like stop, start type of movements where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, it's like stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. Could be in karate also like 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, it's stop, start. In the Filipino martial arts, especially in this martial art of Pekiti Tirsia Kali, we believe that we're always moving. Everything is constant motion. And so we want to build the habit that the end of one movement becomes the beginning of the next movement, and the end of that movement becomes the beginning of the next movement, and the next movement, and the next movement, and the next movement. Like we've been talking till now, this includes what my stick is doing and what my legs are doing. Another way where this includes what my stick is doing is that I have made my entry. Somehow I have made my entry, right? I've got past the weapon, and now I'm looking to deliver a finishing blow to end the fight against my opponent. Just one strike may or may not end the engagement, right? So because of that, I want to have the ability to fire off multiple strikes in a short period of time without having to stop and then go again. I found my way past my opponent's weapon, and now I need to finish the fight before I exit again. And so I want to fire off multiple strikes in a short period of time. Again, in order to do that, I have to have this concept that the end of one movement is the beginning of the next movement, and the end of that is the beginning of the next movement, and the end of that is the beginning of the next movement. and so on and so forth. I'm flowing from one technique to the next technique to the next technique to the next technique to the next technique until the fight is over and I can move on to the next engagement. The same holds true for what my feet are doing. There is not, like we've spoken about this a lot in this channel, there is no like concept of a perfect step, because when I'm fighting somebody and I step towards them, they're going to move, and if I don't move to match what's happening in reality, I'm going to get flanked. If I take one big step, I miss with my strike, I take a big step and I'm stuck here. Now they're on my side striking me. I need to constantly be moving to adjust to what's happening in front of me. I can't just stay stationary and think that I can fight like that. So my feet have to constantly be moving, my hands have to be constantly moving, and so again with my footwork also, why do I talk so often about weight distribution and ranging footwork, that 50-50 weight distribution? Because if I have a 50-50 weight distribution, then I can move in any direction at any point of time, and I don't really need any adjustment. I don't need an adjustment step to be able to move. I can just move. My feet are underneath me and I'm balanced and I'm able to move explosively or small adjustment steps. I have that option, but again, that's because of how my weight is distributed. So we have that same concept of never-ending movement with the hands and with the legs, but another thing that has to go along with this is efficiency of movement. If I am just swinging for the fences and trying to hit every strike with power, or trying to move every step which is absolute explosive force, I'm going to get tired really quickly. I'm not going to be able to do that. So that's another reason why this idea of flow is so important, because the only way for me to flow is to relax, right? I'm going to relax, I'm here, I'm moving, and then when I have to strike, I can move with power and then I can exit again. Efficiency works hand in hand with this concept of infinity. I want to take a quick break in the video to tell you a little bit about the exclusive content that we offer on our YouTube memberships and on our Patreon page. On both pages, we offer extended versions of the videos that go out for free on YouTube. But on Patreon, we have some exclusive series that happen only there. There's something called the Drill of the Week, where we look at double stick, single stick, double knife, single knife, stick and knife, empty hands, and I give you a series of drills that you can spend the rest of the week practicing. We have something called a 2 horns training thoughts, where I give you my thoughts on training, approaching fighting, on just the martial arts in general. And then the last is something called Ancient Arts, Modern Warriors, which is an extended version, an extended opportunity for you and me to geek out on the martial arts together. So we're talking about the evolution of the martial arts, how they are connected to each other, their relevance, just a longer opportunity for you and me to nerd out on the martial arts together. If you'd like to know more about any of this content, please do check out the links in the description down below. Now back to the video. The 5 attack subsystem is a really good partner to train this concept of infinite movement, because especially in its fluid state and especially in these diagonal lines that we do, when I am making just angle 1, angle 2 without loading. So before we go into that, let's quickly talk about loading, right? When we're talking about loading positions, in the beginning, what we're trying to do is to have sort of tighter angles and not strike big and wild where my hand is really vulnerable to be attacked. I want to be able to have tighter angles where my hand is a little bit safer. The other thing about loading positions is you're loading up to fire a power strike, right? If I'm just tapping like this, nothing's really going to happen, but I'm loading up so I can hit with power. Eventually, once you are really familiar and comfortable with the loading positions and the attributes that they give you, then loading positions become kind of like zones, right? So shoulder load is a zone over here, high load is a zone over here, cross load is a zone over here, medium load is a zone over here, down load is a zone over there, and the stick is just passing through these zones. It's not allowing me to go big and wild, but it's still allowing me to load for that power strike. So I'm just passing through those zones. And if I am no longer loading, because when I'm loading, yes, there'll be a slight pause. Every time my weapon touches my body, there's going to be a slight pause. But once I move past that loading and I'm just going angle 1, angle 2, whether it's again angle 1, angle 2, these diagonals, or these reverse diagonals, angle 3 and angle 4, you're going to start to make this infinity sign, right? Because again, one movement can just so easily move into the next movement. And then when you play around with these diagonal and reverse diagonal strikes, you can come up with a bunch of combinations where you never have to stop anywhere, and it just goes, because we're going forehand, backhand, forehand, backhand, forehand, backhand, I'm able to just continue without having to stop anywhere. And so the Five Attacks is a really good platform by which to train this concept of infinity of movement or never stopping. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and share this video. If you have anything to add, any questions, leave that in the comments down below. Please do subscribe to the channel. All of these things really do help out our school and our channel a lot. A huge thank you to everybody on our YouTube memberships and everybody on our Patreon page. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you'd like to know more about the exclusive content that we offer on either of the two pages, check out the links in the description down below. Lastly, thank you guys for watching and see you in the next video.